My name is David Lorimer, and I'm the Program Director of the Scientific and Medical Network and one of the directors of the Beyond the Brain conference. It's a delight to have Bruce Greyson with us here today. He's speaking at the conference, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions related to the conference. And the first one is, Bruce, was there any particular single experience that started off your quest for consciousness beyond the brain?
Well, that's a tough question, David, because there wasn't really one incident. There was a series of incidents. I had grown up in a materialistic household, so I didn't think there was anything beyond the physical world. I went through college and medical school like that. And then when I became a psychiatrist, I started encountering patients who described for me leaving their bodies when they were close to death and seeing things accurately. And I didn't know what to make of those. So I tried not to think about them. And then after several years of that, Raymond Moody wrote a book called Life After Life in 1975, in which he gave us the term near-death experience and described them. And I realized then that this was not just a few crazy patients telling stories, but this is part of a worldwide phenomenon. I still couldn't understand it, but that, as a scientist, made me curious to try to discover what's going on with this. So I started collecting other cases and trying to understand them. And now, after 50 years, I'm still trying to understand them.
Well, I think you've come to a very good understanding in your new book, After, which I have to recommend to everyone. I mean, apart from reading your book, which everybody should do, what else would you recommend to somebody coming new to the field?
Well, there are a number of excellent books that outline the basics of near-death experiences. I would start with the Handbook of Near-Death Experiences, which was published in 2009, but is still quite current. But there are also a lot of summaries that do an excellent job, starting with Ken Ring's books in the 1980s, Life at Death and Heading Toward Omega, and going up to recent books such as Pim Van Lummel's Consciousness After Life, Penny Sartori's The Transformative Nature of Near-Death Experiences, Peter Fenwick's The Truth and the Light, and your own Resonant Mind, excellent resources. In addition, an excellent resource is the International Association for Near-Death Studies, with a great website, www.iands.org, which has a lot of resources for information about near-death experiences.
And I suppose the Journal of Near-Death Studies, if somebody wants to become more deeply involved. But you're quite right, there's an absolute wealth of resources out there.
Yes.
And conferences and videos and all of that. And
Right.
then finally, Bruce, tell us a little bit about what you'll be presenting at Beyond the Brain.
Well, I'll basically be summarizing the nearly half century of research that I described in my book, After a Doctor Explores What Near-Death Experiences Reveal About Life and Beyond. Specifically, I'll start with the challenges in studying near-death experiences, the challenges in establishing that they are real experiences and not just products of the imagination, the common features of NDEs, that transcend cultural and religious beliefs, the physiological and the psychological models that have been proposed to explain NDEs and the data that bear on these questions. And finally, what NDEs suggest about the relationship between our minds and our brains, including the possibility that our minds may survive after we die, and also about what NDEs tell us about living a more meaningful and fulfilling life before we die.
Well, Bruce, that is extremely comprehensive. And I hope that everybody who's listening to this will come and attend your lecture when we're very much looking forward to the whole conference. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, David.